Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. I'm SocietySucks and today I'm checking out You Need to Quit Weed by Kurzgesagt. Now, I'm against weed or any other drug and I've never done any drugs. I'm assuming this video is just going to be about all the horrible effects that weed has on you, all the side effects and all the things that could possibly end your life. So let's see just how bad it really is.
Weed is a serious drug that can have devastating consequences for your life. This is an unpopular thing to say, but it's true. We don't think it should be life. This is an unpopular thing to say, but it's true.
Alcohol is way worse? I mean, alcohol is really only way worse because alcohol is widely available. Weed isn't. Alcohol is legal. It's much easier to acquire, which is why it's worse. If weed was legal, we would see a lot more deaths and just other things because of weed.
We don't think it should be illegal because for most people using weed isn't problematic or has only mild negative consequences. But about 20% of people who've ever tried it develop cannabis use disorder, and some of them become severely addicted. That's actually a stunning amount of people.
20%, 1 in 5, that's a lot.
Don't know what they're in for. In the US, daily or near daily weed use has skyrocketed since way before legalization, and there are now more daily users of weed than drinkers of alcohol.
Wait, it's legal in the US?
Users consume very high amounts. In 2023, 1 in 15 adult Americans were suffering from some form of cannabis addiction. In England, cannabis is by far the top drug teenagers seek help for. Today, we'll ignore medical use, casual users, and people with mild problems, and instead, we focus on the people who have a serious addiction or are in danger of developing one, even if they're not aware of it. Weed is usually discussed in the context of teenagers because using any drug while your brain is melting and rebuilding
that just makes it even worse.
Is a bad idea.
Yeah,
instead,
same with alcohol.
We'll have a frank conversation about how it affects you in your 20s and 30s.
If you drink when you're young, it affects you way more.
Our own personal experience of weed addiction. Unfortunately, we do have plenty of both. Please check out our sources, but also know this script is written by someone who used weed daily for 15 years before quitting. Okay, so let's get into it.
It's surprising they managed to quit after that.
By accident. Most people slip into addiction gradually and slowly. They start
it's
using
because
weed
they
for
think
a
they
variety
won't get
of reasons,
addicted.
to experiment, to cope or unwind from stress, because it's fun and easily available. Weed can make you feel more alive and things more exciting. Music sounds better, movies are funnier, food is a delight. It can be great fun with friends and a major source of comfort. The frequency with which you're consuming weed is the most obvious thing to look out for. If you're using daily or almost daily, this is a clear sign you're developing a problem. As a daily user, your risk of cannabis use disorder is up to 30%, and certainly a pretty relevant risk since it might take years before you realize the full weight of it. So, if you're not careful...
I mean, that's just like any other drug. You might be thinking, oh, I've been doing this for a couple months or a couple years, nothing's happened to me. Yeah, nothing's happened to you yet. But 5-10 years down the line, you might see really bad effects from it.
About it, what started out as an occasional high becomes more and more normalized. Bit by bit, your weekends revolve around weed or shift to activities that you can do stoned.
Star weed body.
Or obligations become less of a priority. Then it creeps into most weekdays, and finally, it's an established ritual every day. Over time, weed's nature changes. The joy-enhancing effects dissipate while a comfortable numbness takes over. Weed can become your primary method of coping with life, but it doesn't make you stronger, better, or more resilient. Instead, it covers up negative emotions by building a snail shell that you can retreat into. Do you have a problem with weed? Super easy test. Stop doing it for 4 weeks, starting today. Not tomorrow, today. No matter what you have.
Are there withdrawal effects for weed? Because obviously, if you're addicted to alcohol and you quit, you have withdrawal effects. Is it the same for weed? I'm assuming yes, but I don't know because I mean, I've never done it and I've never met anyone else who did. Because here in Poland, I'm almost 100% sure weed is illegal, as it should be.
Coming up, if that feels challenging or you can't make it, this should give you food for thought. Once weed has become a daily or near daily habit, the cumulative damage to your life can be profound. Forever tomorrow. For problematic weed users, life can sometimes progress in slow motion. The addiction keeps you where you are, while your body ages and your friends move forward. But youth masks stagnation. For years, you don't notice how much weed might be holding you back because if you're young, life changes by itself. The outside world takes on the initiative and provides a lot of support for you. You're surrounded by peers, may still have childhood friends, progress through school, start work or university, and find new places and friendships. Moving slowly is kind of okay in your 20s as life naturally throws experiences and challenges at you. But it's still not great for you. This is the time when your body is probably at its peak and you can use it for things you'll not be able to do later, from sports to dating and staying out late, traveling and experiencing the world. It's the easiest time to build a healthy social life, the greatest predictor of how happy you'll be.
Pretty much this should be the best time in your life.
You'll likely never have fewer responsibilities again, so you can explore and take risks.
Doesn't mean it will be.
Spending this time stoned with passive activities like scrolling over reposts on Reddit is something you might regret later. You'll never get this period of your life back. As you age out of your 20s,
you'll never get any
change
period of your
massively.
life back.
Around this time, most people naturally tone down their weed consumption or quit entirely. You're entering one of life's great inflection points, and you risk getting left behind. Your social life is different after 30. Friendships need care, attention, and active time investment to survive, and weed addiction works against you on multiple levels. Studies show that for some people, weed can worsen social anxiety, especially if you start using more and more. And once you feel anxious about socializing, it becomes pretty tempting to just stay home and avoid events or new experiences. Since weed numbs feelings, it's easy to push away FOMO or guilt about canceling last minute. You'll go next time. But will you? Speaking from personal experience, you may turn into a friend that's unreliable, flaky, or rarely shows up anymore. But the more opportunities to hang out with friends you skip, the fewer will be there in the future.
So in a way, you're basically giving yourself anxiety by taking
the
this.
central focal point in your life. Reports show that many people with addictions gradually reduce the activities or hobbies they once enjoyed in favor of consuming. Bit by bit, this can make you withdraw from the people in your life. While
Pretty
this
much
can
just
be
takes
pretty
over
bad
your
for
life.
social life in your 20s, it may be catastrophic by the time you turn 30. Because in their 30s, most people are plenty busy. Careers, partners, travel, children, and their closest friends are now priorities. Free time becomes super valuable, and casual hangouts turn into two adults comparing their calendars. So people in their 30s are way more selective about what and who they spend their time with. Smoking a joint drops way down their priority list. Even without falling out, you may simply become incompatible if your identity becomes tied up with weed or when your friends have a lot going on and you don't. This happens a lot without weed, but weed can supercharge it. So many problematic weed users focus on a small circle of friends and acquaintances who are also using weed. This can create an isolation trap. If your friends quit or they withdraw to use it alone, you can face
then you're left alone with
isolation
no one
and
else.
loneliness. Or you may feel pressure to keep using it because you're scared of losing your friends. It's harder and takes longer to make new friends in your 30s than in your 20s, so to change your situation you need courage, energy, and motivation, things weed addiction makes much harder to muster. Worse still, people who feel lonely tend to use more weed to cope, which is linked to even more social isolation. Weed can fill the
weed
role
is
of
just
your
an
best
escape
friend.
from reality
It's
like
there
pretty
when
much
you're
every other
lonely.
drug.
It makes you feel okay in the moment. Your love life can also suffer. Social anxiety and complacency is a great motivator to put off dating and having sexual experiences in your 20s, and it doesn't get much easier as time passes. In relationships, weed addiction can be extremely disruptive. Reports show that partners of daily users can feel neglected, that couple communication can break down, and that trust evaporates. The addicted partner usually doesn't realize how poorly they're handling relationship issues and can be blindsided when their love leaves them. And to be frank, in their 30s, people want a partner who's ready to share the growing responsibilities of adulthood and wants to build a life together.
not someone who just
The older
smokes
you get,
weed all the time.
more unattractive your weed addiction makes you. Okay, but who needs friends or love if you have a career, right? Well,
I mean, it can
the
impact your
achievement
career just
delay
as
machine.
much.
Long-term studies show that heavy weed users are more likely to end up with reduced academic performance, a worse education, lower income, less savings, and
Well,
less
that's not
stable employment,
surprising.
even when compared to people from similar family backgrounds and social class. Many people with weed addiction struggle to show up for work. They're not productive, they procrastinate, and they fail to meet their responsibilities.
Who
The
could have
consequences
thought,
of
eh?
missed opportunities and bad decisions slowly accumulate.
I mean, that's like the most
Maybe
obvious thing
you
ever.
skipped networking events, had no ambition, and didn't get promoted, or hopped between entry-level jobs. It's also much harder to build up savings since the addiction can cost you thousands each year.
Yup.
In your 20s, you transition from
I don't know how much weed costs, but alcohol, cigarettes, that stuff is expensive. So I'm assuming in places where it's legal, weed is also just as expensive. And in places where it's illegal, it's gonna be even more expensive.
being useless to being good at something. And so in your 30s, expectations from others and yourself change sharply. People tend to cut you a lot of slack when you're young, but this has an expiration
Yeah, because
date.
you're young, you're
The
supposed
older
to
you get,
grow up.
The worse it feels to compare yourself to peers that are moving on in life and start achieving things. And it's not just career goals. If you spend a decade or two using weed all the time, you grow less as a person. You probably traveled less, went out less, met fewer people, had fewer interesting experiences, and in a way, lived less than your peers, which also really becomes noticeable in your 30s. In some studies, long-term chronic weed users had significantly lower life satisfaction, from their motivation and pursuit of personal goals, social and love life, to careers and options. Your life may just overall be much less fun and fulfilling than it could have been. On top of all this, your mental health is the final thing that you may erode over time.
I can only imagine how badly
The prison
it
of
affects you
weed.
mentally.
What makes weed addiction so devious is how at first it can seem to improve your mental health. It can calm anxiety or depressive feelings, make you more relaxed and feel less lonely. But weed acts on your brain's reward system, and the effects can flip without you noticing. Weed can damage your ability to regulate your emotions and can worsen anxiety or depressive feelings and can escalate into serious mental disorders, which you might think that you can self-medicate against by doing even more weed. This can impair your
Yeah,
coping
it's just a
skills,
cycle.
making you fragile and easily overwhelmed, unable to deal with.
So far, the effects this has on you is pretty much the same as every other drug or alcohol addiction. Yeah, to me, weed is the same as any other drug, alcohol, or cigarettes. It's a way for someone to escape from reality so that they can feel good for a few minutes or hours, only to then feel like absolute shit afterwards, which will cause them to keep taking more and more until they eventually get addicted to it and ruin their life because of it. Weed, just like everything else, is an unhealthy way of coping with your problems. It's an easy out because people don't want to work on themselves, they just want an easy solution to their problems, which weed offers them for a few minutes or hours. I don't know how long weed affects you. It's just people looking for an easy solution to a problem that doesn't have an easy solution. You should look for healthy ways to cope with stress. Or if you do have anxiety, depression, that kind of stuff, take actual medicine meant for that stuff and not addictive substances. There's plenty of medication which can help you and won't get you addicted or into a situation like this. I had major anxiety a few months ago. Like, it got so bad, I basically couldn't function. I really couldn't. There were days where I couldn't eat anything at all without feeling like I'm gonna throw up. Like, everything that was in my mouth made me think I'm gonna throw up. It sucked. Some of the worst things I've ever experienced in my life. And it's all because of anxiety. I'm now on medication for anxiety. And yeah, I'm not addicted. I function normally. There were times where I thought, maybe I should just try alcohol or cigarettes. Maybe that will help me. I didn't do it because I knew that was a stupid thing to even consider, but I've considered it. I thought, it helps other people get rid of these problems. Maybe it'll help me. I was looking for an easy out. But then I said, fuck it. I'll go to a doctor. I got actual medicine. Now I'm better. Not perfect, but better. And I'm not addicted to something like alcohol, cigarettes, or drugs. Basically, what I'm trying to say is don't do drugs. Don't do weed or anything else. It's not worth it. You're taking a lot of risk for barely any benefits. But at the end of the day, it's your choice. Do what you want. I don't care.
Stress, increase anxiety or depressive symptoms, worsen your mood, cause mood swings and irritability. The addiction can hold back a dam of bottled up negative feelings that's ready to crash into you and the people around you at any time. Until eventually, it doesn't work anymore. Especially during a mental health crisis, weed can make things much worse for you. On the flip side, there's research that shows that addicted people who give up weed experience a noticeable improvement in their mental health.
Well,
Here's
yeah,
the thing.
because they got rid
All
of
the
the
negatives we talked about,
thing that was
living your
causing
life
it,
as
a lot of
flies
it.
by, social isolation and not even getting close to living up to your potential are not happening sometime in the future, but today. No matter your age, if you find yourself addicted or in danger of becoming addicted, there is a way out. It's not fun and it will be hard. You need to quit. And the
Yeah,
earlier
nothing
you
good
do,
comes easy.
the better your life will be.
If you want to become better, turn your life around, do something with your life, you're gonna have to put in the work. Taking a substance is not gonna fix you or your problems. Unless it's real medicine. And even then, like the pills that I'm taking, that doesn't just automatically make me better. I still have to make habits to be better. Medication itself just allows me to be able to function enough to make those good habits which allow me to function normally and move ahead with my life. At this point, I'm confident I could stop taking these meds and I would be perfectly fine because I've made enough good habits. But I have to be on these meds for like another 6 months at least, so yeah, can't really stop taking them. Yeah, long story short, weed is bad for you. Don't do it. Don't risk becoming addicted because it's just not worth it. It could mess up your life. And what do you gain from it? You feel good for a few hours maybe when you're smoking it? Is a few hours of feeling better really worth possibly ruining your life over? I don't think so. But again, that's just my opinion. If you want to smoke weed, do any other drug, then go ahead. But at the same time, if you face major consequences because of it in the future, you can only blame yourself because you made the choice to do it. I'm not here to tell you what to do, I'm just sharing my opinion. I think weed, like every other drug, is stupid. And if you take it, you should reconsider some of your life choices. I mean, I think I've said everything I wanted to during the video and right now, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please consider subscribing and leaving a like. If you want to see more reactions like this, check out this video right here. And with that, I hope I'll see you in the next video.